E. How do you spell predator?
P-O-O.
So we just got back from seeing The Predator, directed by Shane Black. Shane Black directed Iron Man 3.
Yes, he did.
He did The Nice Guys, which
I
came
loved.
out 3 years ago. He directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which was kind of a smaller comedy, but it's pretty funny. He also wrote the Lethal Weapon series.
Ooh.
He did. And he actually played a very minor role in the original Predator.
Oh.
So I assumed from all that, I should have not assumed that this would have been a little better put together.
Yeah.
I was
What
disappointed. Hold on
did
one
you?
second. I was disappointed because he co-wrote this with somebody else. So he co-wrote it with somebody else, but he did direct it. It just wasn't. It was so lukewarm.
Okay, so what would you give it out of 10? I feel it's difficult for me too.
I give it a 5 to say it's just average, but there's so much in the movie that's so poorly done, but there's some really cool stuff in it too. That's the problem.
I'm right there with you.
But there's just so many parts, even the storytelling.
Yes. So what would you give it? Just shoot it out.
I think I'm gonna be kind and give it a 5.
Okay. This might surprise you. I'm actually gonna give it a 6.
Oh. I thought you were gonna nail this thing.
You know, and I will. This is very difficult for me because I don't know what to do here. This movie is a mess. Okay, you used to call it lukewarm. I call it a mess. Now, that doesn't mean there's no entertaining value in it, because there's a lot of entertaining value in this movie. So yeah, if you haven't seen The Predator is basically an alien that hunts people. That's the premise, okay? I don't know what the plot was to this movie. I have no idea. I know that the alien is there, the Predator, and it hunts people. But beyond that...
It was the tone. The tone...
was all over the place.
It started off... it throws you into the movie very quickly.
Which I loved. It was like,
okay. And so I'm like, all right, here we go. And then the tone, to me, shifted.
It became very comic booky. Do you feel that vibe?
Yeah.
Like when you see the trailer, you think, okay, this is kind of like a new hit on the old Predator. It's more like in urban areas and not jungle. It's back. They kind of ruined the whole hybrid thing on the trailer. And you weren't sure where they're going with it. Okay, I'm intrigued. But then, they're adding jokes into it. It has like almost a Disney flair to it, but yet people's heads are still getting ripped off. So the editing, oh, for love of God.
Yeah.
Holy
crap. It seemed
crap.
like he wanted to put more in the movie, and maybe that's why it was cut apart. But yeah, the humor, there was so much humor in it. Some of it was good, but a lot of it didn't stick. There was one in particular part that didn't stick for me, was they were in this hotel. This isn't ruining anything, but they were in this hotel, and one of the guys in this, like, in the bus with them, their little group, had Tourette's.
Yes.
And he says something to the woman, and it was just repeated back and forth.
And they would not let the joke die.
It was only, 15 seconds, but it
More than that.
It just felt, it may have been. But
it may have been 15 seconds and felt like 3 minutes.
It wasn't funny.
No.
It wasn't funny. And, I was okay with Keegan-Michael.
Oh yeah,
to be I expected him to be the comic relief,
right?
And if it was going to be him and Thomas Jane, that's fine. But every single person had
some little
quippy
quirk about them, and then a quip with it, and it was for me, this movie, as soon as it starts, it gets going immediately. Like, title comes up, boom, it goes.
Yeah, it doesn't mess around.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's loud, and it's sci-fi, and you're like, okay, I'm in it. And then I will say it's expertly done, because it perfectly gets dumber as the film goes on. Like, the level of dumb starts out at 0, and then it goes to 11 at the end of the film. And I'm like, Okay, this can't get any stupider, and yet they outdo themselves the very next scene.
So
it's amazingly dumb. Like, no. It was only a dumb level of 6 here, so we really got to put the dumb level of 7 here. Let's re-edit it so it gets
there's
a lot
of logic
ridiculous.
problems in this movie.
It wasn't just logic; it was beyond logic.
Or even stuff that they make fact.
Right.
They just completely turn it. You're like, oh wait, I thought that was established. Nope, it was not.
No.
Yeah, there's
screw
I'd
you.
say
What
a
you
half
thought?
hour or so into the movie, they're like leaving this military compound, the science place or whatever. And at that point, I thought, okay, we got something here. In my head, I'm thinking, all right, like you always have a score, like a meter. During the movie, and it was like kind of hovering,
fluctuating,
but it was above average. It was for me. But as the movie went on, and the story started becoming just this
convoluted, mess, and it jumped all over the place. And then characters were added or taken away, and when you're like, well, this is just this is absurd.
I kind of wish like they do it a little bit in the beginning where it's like. What is that? Like they see, a couple people see the predator and it's terrifying.
Right. Which is, we'll
that's what's so cool about it. And then I feel like, which I guess for some people it might be fine, but toward the end is just so much predator and it's not like he's even hunting anymore. He's just like, oh, well, it can't hurt me.
it got... Using the word silly for this movie, I think, is perfect.
It did.
This movie...
It felt very silly.
Silly.
Toward the end.
And it gets... Again, I said comic book earlier. That's... Yeah. But not like a good comic book. Like, a bad one. It was like Daredevil. It was just silly and corny and quirky. It was... Like, and this is supposed to be Predator. It was rated R, so you expect something a little more serious.
There's a part at the end. I'm going to go into spoilers. I just have to.
No. Well, we'll save that for our discussion video because I feel we can rant forever. So we will talk about this in length in our discussion.
There's a part toward the end that involves a ship that goes on for very long.
Too long.
And
the ships are included. And that's not really a spoiler in that. Oh wait, there's aliens.
But
what?
It just there's a few of the key characters in this scene, and that was a lot of silliness. It was drug on, and I didn't care about the climax to the movie. No, I did not one bit.
There was no plot, and the pacing was just. I mean, again, starts off great, but the pacing it slows down to a crawl right after, and then it kind of picks up, and then it crawls again, and that's like steady, but it's at that point it's so stupid you don't even care.
And then the whole movie finishes off with a very stupid. Right before the credits roll, there's this end scene.
Don't give it. No. Well, we'll get into that in our discussion.
I'm not going to discuss it, but
no, because I can go on for an hour about that.
I mean, I could feel your sigh.
You did. I was very verbal with it,
but it didn't make sense.
No, it made no sense whatsoever. Just like this entire movie. So, but see,
literally
like I said,
my mouth was open. I thought, oh come on, guys, you turn Predator something really cool. I mean, especially unique. Where it's in this like same universe as like Alien,
or supposed to be,
supposed to be. And I really didn't fear the alien or his dogs.
Yes, there's alien dogs.
He has dogs that he brought with him because he's a hunter. That's not a spoil.
That's
and
not. But,
just a lot of silly, a lot of corny. There were several really cool kills.
Well, the Predator scenes were like in the beginning. They were great.
Yeah,
I was totally on board
really
at that
good
point.
Stuff in it.
But they needed more of that and less of the cheese. And this movie is ripe with cheese.
It did have a lot of cheese.
So would you find it entertaining? Because I personally thought it was entertaining. But, I mean, it's not good quality. It's just entertaining.
I don't know if it got to the point, like at the end, I don't know if it was schlocky enough to be entertaining.
See, that's why I rated it a little higher. Because I did think it was, I wouldn't sludge through it like, man, this is painful.
But I thought sections of the movie were definitely entertaining.
Right. But would you rewatch it?
I don't think I would rewatch it.
No,
I don't think I don't have any reason to rewatch it.
I mean, you know what? I'll YouTube some of this, like the good action scenes, maybe, and that are all about 60 seconds, and that's about it. So no, I'm not going to rewatch the entire movie.
I don't think I would rewatch it.
No. So yeah, there's our review.
I do want to get into a spoiler discussion.
We will.
So, just to hit on some points, if anybody's actually seen it, I do want to talk about it.
Yes, because it's worth talking about in length.
Definitely.
Because there's so much wrong with this movie. It had such potential. It's a shame.
It is a shame. It is. I expected more from Shane Black.
We all
But-
did. We all did.